The next question, which Deputy Pittman will ask of the Chief Minister. Deputy Pittman.
Will the Minister clarify how much taxpayers' money has thus far been spent in support of the 4 individuals bringing action under the Data Protection Jersey Law 2005 relating to the Internet?
So could I ask my Assistant Minister, Senator Rutia, who acts as political liaison with Data Protection Commissioner, to answer this? Thank you.
Yes, Assistant Minister.
Thank you, sir. As has already been confirmed in previous answers, there are proceedings that are ongoing. Therefore, not only would further discussion be sub judice, there is an order in place that all hearings in relation to this matter are held in private, and until a further order of the court, and that no party may disclose information to any non-party. At this point in time, and whilst matters are ongoing, it is not appropriate to comment on any fees incurred.
Okay, so no comment on that. It's been referred to as almost like a super injunction by some. This is Deputy Pittman.
Can the Assistant Minister at least clarify for us, the Attorney General in the past said there was a limited amount of taxpayers' money that would be available in such cases. Can the Assistant Minister at least confirm to the House a figure that is the ultimate that can be used from the taxpayer's purse? And who is monitoring this? Because I think that's very important to the public.
Every year, in the accounts of the Data Protection Office, there is an amount set aside which for the running of the department, and as they keep within that budget, and it's publicly known. I don't have the figure with me here today, but it's a figure which has been advised to this House in the past.
Sir, sorry to push that, but from what the Assistant Minister is saying, he's suggesting that it's entirely down to the Data Protection Commissioner's discretion. Am I understanding that correctly?
The Data Protection Commissioner is an independent person who has responsibility for the budget, and as long as they keep within the budget, we should be satisfied.
Deputy Sutton.
The Assistant Minister just said that we should be satisfied. If he expands that to we in this chamber, concerning public spending, can he justify in some way his linking of the sum spent on this case with an injunction which says we can't talk about the proceeding? Surely there's no link between the amount spent and the actual proceedings going on. Why can he not? How can he justify not informing members how much public money has been spent on this particular case to date?
So in the opening answer, I did say that the court has put an order in place to not talk about any matters in relation to these cases, so we are bound by that.
Is the phrase used in the document in front of him matters relating to these cases, in which case possibly one might justify it not talking about how much is spent? Is that the actual wording? And if not, will he tell us what the wording is? Because I can't believe it encompasses the amount spent by the states on pursuing these cases.
I don't have the court order in front of me, so I can certainly look at that to see what the court has decided. But my understanding is that the whole relates to everything relating to the case.
Deputy Higgins.
Thank you, sir. Can the Assistant Minister tell us whether the person who is on the receiving end of the Data Protection action receiving a quality of arms, are they also being funded by the states, or is it just the 4 individuals who are bringing the action?
I have no knowledge of the cases at all, so I cannot answer that question.
Do you believe the person should receive a quality of arms?
I have no knowledge of the cases at all, so I cannot comment on that at all.
Final question, Deputy Pittman.
So I did have my light on, but I think it was shielded.
Sorry, Deputy. Deputy.
it seems that the Minister has been chosen to answer the question specifically because he doesn't have any knowledge about the any answers that he can give, which is convenient actually, because we're not allowed any information on the question which has been approved by yourself, sir. But I'm sure it's more complicated than that. The question I have to ask is the Minister concerned that taxpayers' money is being used for a case which ostensibly could possibly use the defamation law, because this is a case about defamation, not necessarily about data protection, which wouldn't have to be funded by the taxpayer. Does the Assistant Minister have any concerns that taxpayers are being used to fund this secret case, which we can't even find out what the costs are at the moment, when actually perhaps the best use of procedure would be for a civil defamation case to be brought against this individual so that taxpayers wouldn't have to fund it?
So the Deputy's understanding of what cases are going on is greater than mine. It's not part of the responsibility of the Chief Minister or myself to be involved in any particular cases, and I would respectfully suggest that members that when there are cases which are which are sub judice, that politicians should really not think about being involved in it, and I maintain that position, and as long as the data protection officers are working appropriately within the law, that we should be satisfied with that.
If I may, can I ask the Assistant Minister to circulate the documents he hasn't brought with him today that he's mentioned, the two items that he's mentioned in his answer?
I'm not sure what he's actually referring to. All I have is an answer to the question that...
Sir, I refer to the wording of the injunction from the court and the sum allocated to data protection issues within the budget, which both of which he mentioned and said, I don't have them with me. Can he circulate them before day's end?
Well, the data protection office budget is publicly known. It's available to anybody. Regarding the court's order, I presume that would be on the court's website, if there is such a thing. I cannot find it.
Effectively, he's not answered the question and said he's not prepared to do anything to elicit the answers. Can he be more cooperative, Sir Minister?
Certainly, I'll have a look to see what can be provided, but as I've said previously, these cases are sub judice, and but I will do whatever I can.
I have the supplementary simply to be helpful. I appreciate this is a sub judice case. So would the Minister make an undertaking to look into a policy area which relates to the use of defamation cases as opposed to the use of data protection law, because they are fundamental issues which border on the right of freedom of speech versus the right to not be defamed, and it's critical that there isn't an abuse, first of all, of taxpayers' money being spent, or an abuse, potentially, of the wrong law being used when another law should be used. Would the Assistant Minister undertake to take that away and discuss that?
In preparing to answer this question, sir, I looked at the Hansard of when the Chief Minister answered a very similar line of question previously, and it was suggested to members that if they have a concern with the data protection law, that they should consider bringing forward an amendment to that law. And I certainly don't have any concerns about the way it's currently being used, but if other members do, I would suggest that they bring an amendment to the data protection law.
Very well. Deputy Pittman, do you wish a final question?
With trepidation, sir. I'm tempted to ask if you can apply retrospectively to use this law, but what I will ask the Assistant Minister is he really happy and content that here we apparently have taxpayers' money being used, and yet no one in this Assembly is allowed to know how much is being spent, what that limit is effectively, or who's monitoring it? Is that a good way to handle taxpayers' money?
We have put in place a system to provide protection to the public through the Data Protection Office, and when it was established, it was established in a way that gave the authority and the backing to the Data Protection Officer to use the funds available to them wisely. And I have no reason to believe that's not happening in this case, in any of these cases, and I maintain that we have sufficient protection for public funds because the Data Protection Officer is using the money within their existing budget.